Hat, sunglasses, Pepsi, notes, sources, thick skin, check. You already know. Let's go. Welcome to Golden Blue today, everybody. This is a college football channel. So if you like college football, hit the like and subscribe button. It's that simple. Also, send gear to represent your team and be a part of my background forever. All you have to do is send it to P.O. Box 360, Liberty, South Carolina 29657. Quick reminder about the new slogan we have that we're going to roll out. We call it New Year, New Dude for 2023. We're going to be rolling out a lot of new things. We're going to be revamping a lot of things. So we're trying to keep Golden Blue Dude fresh, especially now that this channel has gotten a lot bigger. Sometimes you outgrow some things and you need to get better in certain areas. So we're rolling out New Year, New Dude. So look for a lot of great changes in 2023. Shout out to my brother as well. Go check out his YouTube channel, The Inner Circle. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description of this video. Basically, he's going to help anybody market their business, market themselves, just get more exposure. He's pretty good at this stuff. So go check out my brother's YouTube channel, The Inner Circle. I started hearing some big time news yesterday and it concerned University of Colorado. What? Yeah, Colorado, it looks like they will land Deon Sanders. I did not see this coming. Honestly, folks, the list that I had for Deon Sanders was 1, Georgia Tech, because he loves the Atlanta area. 2, Auburn, because Auburn has a lot of money and it's still in the Southeast. Remember, he coaches in the state of Mississippi. Auburn's in the state of Alabama. So the move wouldn't have been that big or that far as distance. And Texas A&M, if they were to fire Jimbo Fisher. If Texas A&M knew that they had Deon Sanders, they would fire Jimbo Fisher. I promise you that. But no, instead, Boulder, Colorado is where Deon Sanders is going to go. He's expected to announce that after the SWAC title game. And Deon Sanders is exactly what Colorado needed. Colorado was one of the worst teams in all of college football. Maybe the worst team in all of college football. They averaged 15.4 points per game. Wow, which is 127th. But defense was worse. As bad as their offense was, their defense was worse. They allowed 44.5 points per game. That's 131st. That's a difference of minus 29.1 points per game. That is insane. How they won one single game, I have no idea, but they did. They somehow beat Cal. But all the other games, they got blown out by at least 25 points or more. So Colorado needed something. They needed something bad, and this is exactly what they needed. I did not expect Deon Sanders to go to Colorado. I knew that Colorado was interested in Deon Sanders, but I didn't know that it was going to go the other way around. Now, there's two sides of the coin to this when it relates to conference realignment. The first thing is, this could be a bad sign for the Pac-12. This could be a very bad sign for the Pac-12 because their worst team just went out and made a splash hire and they're going to grab Deon Sanders. And we heard earlier in the year, right around when Colorado fired their head coach, that Colorado and Utah plus Arizona and Arizona State could be headed towards the Big 12. And then we heard those talks kind of fade away. I don't know if they fell apart or if they just lost steam, but the talks just kind of faded away. Maybe this was a decision to reinforce, hey, Colorado is investing into their football program. We're serious about this. We want to jump to the Big 12, and I think Colorado in the Big 12 would be a good decision for Colorado. And at the time, I didn't think that the Big 12 would benefit from Colorado because they are such a bad football team. I didn't think they would generate a lot of revenue for the Big 12. But with a splash hire like Deon Sanders, I might be changing my mind about that. Colorado might actually be a big-time pickup for the Big 12. We already know that Utah is a big-time rivalry of BYU, who is already joining the Big 12, so that's a no-brainer. The Holy War, as they call it, will generate a lot of revenue for the Big 12. That is a good decision by the Big 12. And then Arizona State. Arizona has a massive basketball brand, so it will definitely strengthen the Big 12 in basketball. Arizona State is a slightly bigger football brand, so I'm not sure if Arizona and Arizona State add all that much to the Big 12 when it comes to football. And we also know that the Big 12 is interested in talking to Gonzaga. In fact, they have been talking to Gonzaga, so we'll see if Gonzaga joins the Big 12 in basketball, and I think that's a great decision as well. I didn't feel too good about it when I first heard about it, but whenever I thought about it, I'm like, wait a minute. We add Gonzaga. We don't have to split the football revenue with Gonzaga, and it will strengthen the Big 12 in basketball even more. I mean, we're already pretty good as a basketball conference. I mean, we'll be the best. No doubt about it. The Big 12 will be the best. No debate. No question about it. We bring Gonzaga. The Big 12 is the best basketball conference in the entire nation. So picking up Gonzaga is a good move. Now it looks like picking up Colorado will turn into a good move as well. So that's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is it actually could be good news for the Pac-12. Remember what I said? The worst team in the Pac-12 just made a splash hire. Maybe this solidifies everybody, gives everybody confidence. Hey, the Pac-12 is going to be fine. Our worst team just went out and got Deon freaking Sanders and nobody saw it coming. So it could also solidify of the Pac-12 because you know the Pac-12 members are nervous right now. We already know that USC and UCLA, they're off to the Big Ten. We already know that Oregon and Washington want to go to the Big Ten. They have applied to the Big Ten. The Big Ten's like, not right now, maybe in the future, but right now we're sticking with USC and UCLA. So there's a lot of nervousness going on in the Pac-12. Maybe this reassures everybody and solidifies everybody like, hey, we're going to be okay. The Pac-12 is going to be okay. Our worst team just went out and got a great hire. They're going to make some money for us. Maybe that's going to help with our TV deal. So there's two sides of the coin to this, and I think both apply equally. Personally, here's how I feel about it. I do think that this points to the fact that the Big 12 is still trying to get Colorado and Utah and Arizona State. And I do think eventually the Big 12 will acquire those 4 teams. And I do think that eventually Oregon and Washington do end up in the Big 10. And possibly Cal and Stanford. What happens to Oregon State and Washington State, I have no idea. You guys might be in no man's land. You might be headed to the Mountain West. But at the same time, the Big Ten might see value in the in-state rivalry between Washington State and Oregon State. So there's a lot of questions still up in the air. But Deon Sanders accepting the head coaching position at Colorado is worth talking about and how it affects conference realignment. It does. It really affects conference realignment. And it got me to thinking, wow, Colorado went out and got Deon Sanders and West Virginia didn't pursue any high-caliber names. Listen, I am not trying to trash Neil Brown. I'm really not. I think he's a great person, and maybe he was put behind the 8 ball at West Virginia because we're hearing a lot of bad things come out of Morgantown when it relates to Shane Lyons as to why he was really fired. And I will do a separate video on that. There's more things than you realize. Even the basketball program was being affected negatively by Shane Lyons. I'm telling you, this guy was a snake in the grass. So maybe it really was Shane Lyons that was holding everybody back, not just the football program, but also the basketball program. Maybe it was Shane Lyons that was not giving the proper budget towards the football program and the basketball program. I'm telling you, I've heard a lot of crazy things about this guy. And then in one of his interviews, he said he was going to have bitterness. Oh, I thought we were all friends. I thought they reassured me that I was keeping my job. There's going to be a lot of bitterness now. That's a childish response, Shane Lyons. And you slammed the Country Roads Trust. What is your problem? It seems like Shane Lyons was one of the biggest problems at West Virginia, and they let him go. And a lot of people thought, including myself, the fact that West Virginia let Shane Lyons go meant that we were going to let Neil Brown go because Neil Brown was Shane Lyons' guy, and he wasn't going to fire him no matter what. Well, it seems like that's not the case. Neil Brown is safe for another year. He will coach in 2023. Rodney Gallagher, our best recruit since Tavon Austin, has come out and said yes, he is still signing with West Virginia. In fact, he will sign early, and he's saying all the recruits out of this new class is really, really happy that Neil Brown is staying. Remember, Neil Brown is a very good recruiter at West Virginia. Right now, our recruiting class is number 27. That's pretty good for West Virginia. We'll probably finish in the lower 30s, just like we always have under Neil Brown, and that's really, really good for West Virginia. But my problem is I drank the Kool-Aid last year. You know, I thought that the defense was going to be fine. As usual, we made a lot of good decisions for the offense, brought in Graham Harrell. That attracted JT Daniels. It looked like West Virginia was going to have a much better season this year, and it turns out our defense was just horrible. So one of the conditions of Neil Brown staying at West Virginia is he's going to have to make some staff changes specifically on the defense. And a lot of this relates back to Shane Lyons not giving the budget needed towards the football program. My question is, where was that money allotted to the football and basketball programs? Where was it going? One rumor that I heard was Shane Lyons wanted to build a new press box with his name on it. And when he did an interview, he said, yes, he wanted a new press box and that it was a future revenue producer, whatever that means. So, yeah, the money was not going where it was supposed to go. Shane Lyons is gone. We'll see if he was a problem because we will build a football team in 2023 without Shane Lyons as the athletic director. So we won't be able to use him as an excuse. So I'm getting behind this team. I really am, but cautiously, because last year I drank the Kool-Aid and it came back to bite me in the rear end. 5-7 compared to my prediction of 9-3. So my prediction this year is going to be much more tapered down. But I am behind West Virginia football. I am behind Neil Brown. Hey, he is our head coach. He's not going anywhere. Talking bad about him or saying he needs to go away, that's not going to help anything. So I'm getting behind Neil Brown. Not saying that he's a great head coach and he's going to get West Virginia on the right track. He's the future of West Virginia. But right now, he is the head coach of West Virginia. So as a fan, I have to get behind him. So that's what I'm doing. I'm getting behind Neil Brown. But Colorado, what a decision. What a grab. Remember, Deon Sanders flipped the #1 recruit in the nation from Florida State to Jackson State. That's a big deal. So he will be able to recruit at a high extremely high level at Colorado. We'll see what direction that leans as far as conference realignment. Does that mean that Colorado indeed is going to the Big 12, or does it solidify the Pac-12? Y'all let me know in the comments section, what do you think Deon Sanders going to Colorado means as far as conference realignment? And number two, do you think West Virginia getting rid of Shane Lyons is the answer and that he was the problem at West Virginia? That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.